Look, I'm about to say something that's not politically correct and I might get heat for it, but I kind of don't care because this needs to be said. That's what this channel is all about. Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here and tell you about this quick story I just found out about that needs to go viral because this topic needs to be had. I know it had its moment last year in the US when those particular southern states tried to be slick and ban it, which is illegal due to Roe versus Wade. But anyways, today's topic actually makes me sick to the core. So the setup is there's this little girl who was by her uncle for years. Keep in mind she's only 10 years old today. And she pretty much was approved by the government of Brazil to have an because they have a law that says abortion is pretty much banned unless the mother's life is in jeopardy or in cases of and the child was approved to get one because again, she's 10 years old and she was. But wait, there are a bunch of protesters who are pretty much outside the clinic trying to prevent this little girl from getting their procedure because of whatever beliefs they have. I just have to say these people are absolutely disgusting. Horrible people that deserve the worst. This little girl has been traumatized and has been abused for years by a family member that she's supposed to love and trust, and here you are, an angry mob of adults that's with women and men re-traumatizing her all over again. This little girl does not need a bunch of angry adults chastising her, especially grown men. How disgusting are you to protest a little girl who was abused by a family member and then to tell that same little girl she has to go through a pregnancy that was forced upon her? You're trying to force her to carry a baby to term. How sick do you have to be? Who's to say she won't be killed herself? Grown women die from childbirth all the time. Look, I'm about to say something that's not politically correct and I might get heat for it, but I kind of don't care because this needs to be said. That's what this channel is all about. But that baby in that little girl's belly is a mistake. It should not be born. It was not meant to be born, because if it was, that means you think she should have been. And that little girl should not be forced to bear a child. This wasn't an oopsie. This wasn't a situation that occurred with consensual that she might have seen or heard about from someone else. She got with someone her own age and they decided to try it out themselves without knowledge of what they were doing, which she should still be within her right to in that situation as well, even if it wasn't. This is a little girl who has experienced the worst type of violence anyone, especially a child, could possibly face. And you are sitting there angrily, marching, screaming, and yelling, just being vile animals to the same little girl who was just assaulted. No sympathy whatsoever. In what world would it be okay to force a baby to have a baby? Think about that. That potential baby is never going to have a relationship with the father. That little girl is never going to have a normal childhood that she won't ever recover from, because now you're trying to force her to have a baby in addition to the assault she had. That's 2 levels of psychological trauma she would have to deal with, by the way. Y'all out here trying to force her to be a mother before she even becomes a teenager. Oh, and by the way, I said what I said and I don't care who hates me for it. If anyone wants to bring morality into this, then you too, because I think the morally correct thing to do is for her to have the procedure so she can recover from this in the most healthiest way possible, which is not to bear a child while she is still a child herself. And anyone who thinks that they are holier than thou and are so pro-life, even in extreme cases like this, and it still shouldn't be allowed, all I have to say is you too. I don't care what side of the debate you're on. I myself used to be pro-life. Even when I was still a pro-lifer, I still wouldn't try to force a little girl to bear a child, especially in a case of you people make me sick. And don't think for a second that like this doesn't happen in the US or any other established countries as well. There are plenty of Republicans and probably a few Democrats as well who say it doesn't matter and that they are pro-life 100% and think that somehow that makes them better than the rest of us. But that's all I have to say about this deplorable story. If I keep going on and on and on, I'm just going to keep getting madder and madder, and that might cause me to say something that's actually going to get people really pissed off. So I'm going to end this rant right here. I said my piece. But in Brazil, by the way, it's the law. So she has the right to get this procedure done. But even if it wasn't the law, she should still have the right regardless. Anyways, that's all I have to say in the matter. So bye. Thanks for listening to my rant. I'll see you for the next video. Comment down below and let's continue the conversation without bickering and calling each other's name in the comment section. Thank you. Ciao. I just want to give a quick and big shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon, Subscribestar, OnlyFans, No Nudes, Throne, and Cameo. And I hope everyone who subscribed and any future subscribers join my fandom on all of my subscription services because you get more of me. So that's the end of the video. But before you go, make sure you click on another one. We got one right here, and we got one right here. And they're both pretty good. You want this one? Maybe you want this one. Choose.